Hey, welcome to a fun Valentine's painting. I am so excited to do this with you. I love Valentine's Day. All right, so go ahead and get out all the supplies from your art kit, and you're gonna wanna work on a covered surface. Put on some comfy clothes that you don't necessarily care if they get paint on them. You're gonna need a water cup for cleaning your brush. Of course, you need your napkins. Leave your paints in the tins. Mine are already out on the plate, but that's because I'm gonna be doing multiple paintings. And when we go to mix colors, you can then just put the colors on your plate as you need them, okay? I am ready to get started. I hope that you are as well. So I'm gonna start with my biggest flat brush, and we're gonna work on this background first. Now, of course, do whatever color you want, whatever makes your heart happy, right? Think I'm gonna use a big old glob of white, and I am going to mix in some teal. So I'm gonna do some white, and then just a little chocolate chip amount of teal mixed in. It's really important that you keep all your paint in one little bitty pile. If you start spreading it all over the plate, obviously it will mix with other colors, but it will also dry out really fast. So the goal now is to get our whole background filled with color. Again, it's whatever color you want. Now, this brush is great for turning different directions and squeezing in different spots, okay? So, here we go. There we go. We'll just work on getting all of this filled in just like so. There we go. And so we don't stress about getting a little bit of paint where it doesn't belong. We're not going to stress about that at all, because the nice thing about painting with such a light color in our background is that we can most definitely go back and do touch-ups. So like if I were to get a little bit of this teal on my envelope, it wouldn't be a big deal. We can just touch that up, right? Cover it up, no big deal. Now remember, just because I choose a certain color does not mean that you have to. You do whatever makes your heart happy, okay? If you're giving this to somebody and their favorite color is purple, then do purple. If you're keeping this for yourself and you want it to match your room that you're gonna hang it in, then use those colors, right? Okay. There we go. So now I like to do my edges. So I'm going to bring some color across the very top, just like so. And then we'll do colors down the sides. Now, you guys are in luck. You're actually in my studio today painting with me. That's why the background's different. The lighting is different. So there you go. We haven't done one of these in the studio before, so it's a little sneak peek in here for those of you that have never been. Now, I have to remember at some point to flip this guy upside down and paint the bottom while I still have a little bit of this color left, so I don't have to try to match it again by making it later. Now make sure that you got all of your little bitty white spots filled in, okay? We don't want to leave any little bitty white spots showing. That's the texture of the canvas, and we just don't want to leave it showing. There we go. So that is our base color. Next, we are going to clean our brush. Now, in order to clean your brush, it goes all the way to the bottom of the cup, and then you kind of smush and swirl on the bottom to get all the extra out. No crazy dancing or that water will go everywhere. Now, I like to wipe on the inside of the cup to get the extra water out of my brush, just because if you tap, for some reason, everybody taps. If you tap, it's gonna go everywhere, okay? Now, I like to dry my brush, okay? Don't smush it, I just sweep it back and forth. That way I'm not too rough on the bristles. So now we have a big chunk of envelope that we could fill in, right? So I'm thinking I might go purple. Why not, right? And so I am gonna stick with this same big brush. Let's see what this color looks like. Yours may be a little darker, so if you like this lighter color, then go ahead and get you some white and mix it in with your purple. Now we're not gonna worry about these Sharpie lines. You guys had a permanent brush, or excuse me, permanent marker in your kit. So that means that you can go back and do touch-ups with the permanent marker. So meaning at the end when everything's 100% dry, you can go back and retrace all of these Sharpie lines and just make them really pop out, okay? There we go. So I am getting all of this filled in. I'm trying to kind of just get it on there and then see how we can go back and smooth out our brush strokes so they're all going the same direction, just like that, okay? Then, same thing over here. We'll just get the chunk filled in and then we can go back and like smooth it out. You can pick a direction, whether it be up and down, left and right, diagonal, whatever floats your boat. Okay, here we go. So we're getting all of this filled in as well. There we go. Fabulous. We'll get all this filled in. So quiet here at my studio. I'm not usually here very long by myself unless I'm cleaning. So this is a little different. It's almost a little distracting with it being so quiet. Sometimes it's hard to teach when I'm not being interrupted. That's what happens when you teach kids. You get interrupted a lot. Most of the time though, it's just because they're excited. Most of the time they're not being rude, so that's good. Okay. So my librarian at school, her dad actually like raises honeybees. So this totally makes me think of her. I may have to give this to her when I'm done, or make her a kit and she could paint her own, right? Okay, so I got my base color on my envelope, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to let this set up a little bit, and then I may sweep in, like brush in some more purple, whether it be lighter or darker, and I'm for sure inside the envelope going to put some darker. So I'm going to let my big brush hang out. I'm going to get my small brush. I'm going to take just the tiniest bit of black and mix that in over here on this side. Now typically I say to use a color's complement to darken it up, but purple's complement is yellow, and I'm afraid that we'll wind up with a black instead of like a plum. I'm going to add a little bit of blue in there too. And I don't want to go, whew, maybe that was too much blue. I don't want to go for a brown for the inside of my envelope. I'm trying to go pretty, right? Ooh, I like that. Okay, it's kind of an indigo. So I added a little bit of blue to my purple and then a teeny bit of black. If you don't trust yourself with one of your pointy brushes, one of the bigger pointy ones, to squeeze inside the envelope, then definitely use a smaller, one of your smaller pointy ones, okay? Being I'm at my studio, I don't have my exact brushes. I know which ones you have though, and I know that you have a big pointy brush, it's not very big, and I know that you have a lot of smaller pointy brushes, so you use what you're comfortable with, okay? Now I love this so much that I think I'm gonna go ahead and create a little bit of an outline with this dark color that we made. This is beautiful. So I am just outlining my envelope with a little bit of a rough line. That's okay though, because remember we can clean all this up later. We're not worried about it. And I'll show you another trick for doing cleanups. Okay. So I'm trying to stay between the edge and that dashed line. again, if you don't trust yourself with one of the bigger pointy brushes, get a smaller one. There we go. Now, here's a little trick you can do. Say you get out of the lines or you get in an area you don't mean to. Wrap up your napkin, and then I can take and I can just rub right here below the envelope where I got a little carried away with that purple-ish blue. And I can just kind of clean this up a little bit. Then I can use a small brush and come in here and touch up underneath here. There we go. There. And then I can come right here, just like this. Clean that up. Nice. Now I'm going to go back to my bigger of the pointy brushes, and we'll just work on getting this kind of, because I like that, so I want to sort of blur it in there. Now keep it simple if you want, and just keep it going with you know, just one color. You don't have to do all this blending and blurring and all of that, but I kind of like that. So I'm going to bring this on up in here some, and then I'll go on top of that with purple so that I smooth it out. There we go. Fabulous. Now, what's kind of cool about Valentine's Day, I don't know why I love it so much. I think because I love love. I love the concept of love. I love just feeling loved, and so I think that's why I enjoy Valentine's so much. But it's also right by my birthday. So my birthday is February 16th. So I was almost a Valentine's kid. It actually was kind of late, but you know, we just come when we come. One of my music teacher's friend's birthday is Valentine's Day, so that's kind of cool. My family knows, though, it's the rule. We don't combine Valentine's Day with my birthday. Separate sweets, separate treats, separate celebrations. We just don't combine them. So I have them trained pretty well. Now this is pretty much just another layer of purple. And remember, my purple is a little different than yours. Mine is lightened up some. Again, we're at the studio, so mine's going to be a little different. That part wasn't thought out very well, and I apologize. There we go. But I could not delay making these videos. Okay. There. So that's a great start to an envelope. And then what we'll do is here in a bit, we'll kind of re-go over those stitches. We'll add a little bit of black, a little bit of white. It's going to look fabulous. Okay? So let's get some base color on our hearts. I'm kind of thinking we could do all different reds and pinks. Okay? So you could do red straight out of the bottle. Maybe on one of these smaller ones, or the two small ones on the outside. So we outline and fill in, use whichever smaller pointy brush you're comfortable with. Do not use a big one. Smaller areas, smaller brushes. Bigger areas, bigger brushes, okay? If you use a big brush in a tiny area, that is just a recipe for disaster. There we go. Fabulous. Okay. Then what I could do is I could take a little bit of white, mix that in right here on the side of my red so that I get a darker pink. Definitely like this color, very pretty. Now you could definitely go rogue and just have fun with your colors. You could do Neon would be fun if you have neon. You could go more pastel with all your colors, so add white to all of your colors to soften them up. You could go darker, you could go untraditional, like yellow and orange hearts, right? You can have as much fun with this as you want. Definitely personalize it and make it your own, okay? Okay, now I'm going to grab an even more white and mix it into that pinkish color we made. So I make a lighter pink, and then we outline just like that. Outline and fill in. Now, I guess there is a flip side to doing Sharpie. If you don't like the harshness of the black lines, you could make sure to paint on top of your Sharpie lines every opportunity you get. So like when you're doing your background, you put a little paint on them. When you're doing your whatever it is you're painting, you put paint on them. Like every chance you get, you could put paint on those Sharpie lines and then just totally get rid of them. Like you really can't even see my Sharpie lines around this heart now anymore, right? And then you get rid of all of the black lines. So it's up to you. Do you like the look of the black lines or do you not? It's really your choice, okay? Now, it would probably be more wise for me to use this baby brush. So we clean, dry, and then use this little guy to paint these little hearts, right? There we go. And they're almost just a line and a line. There. So fabulous. Okay. Now, of course, I could take this lighter pink. I could do like a little pop of pink, lighter pink on here, little pop, pop, pop. I could go darker on this guy. Kind of like that. Just to give it a little extra something, right? Okay, I'm going to take this smaller brush and I am going to take some white and just the teeniest bit of brown, just the teeniest to kind of come up with the creamy color. And I'm just going to brush a little bit of this creamy color in here. It's not even going to be a solid, I'm not even putting a solid layer on, guys. Mostly just to clean up the purple I got on here on accident. And just to give this a little something so it doesn't look so bright white. Okay? And I don't care that it's getting on the Sharpie. That's okay. Because remember, we can re-Sharpie. No big deal. There we go. There. And then that just kind of gives it, see that right there? Just gives it a little extra something, right? So it's just not so white. Okay. There. Very nice. I like it. Okay. Now I could do a baby blue. So white in the teeniest bit of blue. Look. Teeniest bit of blue right here. We could make these little wings like a baby blue. Why not? Or they could be pink. Or you can leave them white. Whatever you want to do. Then I'm going to grab just a little bit of blue right here. Boop, boop, just like that. Yes, okay. Clean this brush. let's see, the face is going to be black, right? So the first stripe would be yellow, but this yellow is kind of harsh. So I'm going to grab just a teeny bit of purple, mix that into my yellow so it makes it more of a goldeny color. There we go. If you like the bright yellow, then just leave it alone. Leave it the bright yellow. Your choice. I'm going to do every other stripe with the yellow. Okay, now I'm going to dry my brush. I'm still using my baby. And if you want to go ahead and paint over that eye, you could, because I'm going to show you a trick. And I guess we kind of lost our mouth too, didn't we? That's okay. Just a little bit of paint. Very, very careful. Very, very careful. Sometimes I hold my breath when I'm doing tiny areas. There we go. Okay, let me show you the trick. Flip your brush upside down. Dip it in your white. Don't get too much paint on there. And then you can dot your eye, right? Then I could mix the black that was still in my brush and the side of my white, make a little bit of gray for a mouth, right? Yes. Okay, let's clean that off. Now, let's see. How do we want to do this? Let's go white first and see what we think about it, okay? So all those dashes from earlier, and you don't have to stay right on them if you don't want to. It's kind of hard. But all these dashes, I'm using one of my smallest pointy brushes. And again, you can just kind of make yours up if you can't see them very well. Hold your breath if you need to. Steady your hand if you need to. Lay it down flat if you need to. Sometimes that helps me to have my art laid down flat instead of vertical, which you may be painting flat anyway. Typically I paint flat when I'm not painting on video. There we go. And here, 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 here. Yeah, that's all the dashes. Oh, I like it. Now let's keep with this. Do some shines on our hearts. We'll just kind of bring a little bit of uniformity, I guess you would say, by putting white on the hearts as well, because then it's like it's not just on the envelopes, okay? Fabulous. Okay, now last thing, I am gonna make a little bit more, because I ran out of that dark bluish purple that we were using, like what we did on the inside of the envelope. And I am going to use this color and my baby brush. So instead of doing black Sharpie, I'm just going in with this baby brush and that dark color and creating a little bit of an outline. Now, honestly, it'd be so much easier with the Sharpie and way less frustrating. So you could always just wait for it to dry and get that permanent marker out that came in your kit and call it good. I think you'll be just as pleased if you went that way. Typically that's what we do at the studio, is we just outline with a permanent marker. But just for those of you that may want to do it with paint, I'm doing it with paint. I think it's totally cool if it's not a perfectly straight, smooth line. I think that looks nice, but up to you. Okay. There we go. There we go. And there. There. Oh yeah, guys. Oh my gosh, you're gonna make somebody's heart so happy. They're gonna love it. Okay. I think for fun, I'm gonna add some white lines, like kind of like movement lines, like these hearts are exploding out of the envelope. Yay, just like that. So cute. Okay. And then now, what if, you don't have to do this, but we could go rogue and add some of our own hearts. Just a few little turquoise ones here and there. There. I'm like in deep thought trying to do these cute. You can always do diagonal, diagonal, and then kind of curve right up there. Yes, yes, yes. There we go. Cute. Now, if this is too much, this is extra, don't do it. You can just stick with the way it is, right? We don't gotta go extra. Cute. Whew. Hand's a little shaky today. If your hand's a little shaky, use your finger to kind of steady yourself. That always tends to help. And I'm trying to make these hearts not go all the same direction, okay? We don't want it to be too uniform. And I'm trying to do some little ones. Your little bitty fine baby brushes will help with that. This brush is kind of funky. Funky monkey up here at the studio. Well, that one got bigger, didn't it? Oh well. Awesome. Oh my gosh, so cute. I love this, guys. This is gonna make somebody so happy. So, so cute. Thank you guys so much for painting with me. I hope that you have the best Valentine's Day, and I hope that you feel the love, and I hope that you give the love. Make sure that you're kind, and I promise it'll come back to you one day, sooner or later, right? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me and painting, and there are plenty more Valentine's art kits to choose from, along with other holidays and just regular paintings on our website as well. So you guys have a great day, and I cannot wait to paint with you again.